Meghan Markle here.
Today is July 18, 2025. It is 3:55 a.m. So I just did a video. It's not typically the topic that I will be discussing on my channel, but it was going viral. It was two people, a man and a woman. Both were married, separately, and they were cheating. They were caught on a Coldplay concert, and it's a messy thing. The whole internet is talking about it. Alright, but on this video, I'm gonna get back to my typical topics. Alright, so let's go on Twitter. There weren't that much being said after Harry went to Angola, and what else? What other things that were happening? Who's the wine? Yeah, there was a review. I think I shared that already. But in terms of new topic from the Sussexes, I haven't come across, but the squad was still talking. Okay, so I grabbed maybe 2 or 3 tweets that's worth sharing, and then some regarding Harry, the royals, the Sussexes, and things like that, and William as well. And then there are 3 other tweets that have nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. I'm gonna share with you. So this is the first one. When Prince Harry says reconciliation, he really means truce, on the basis that behind closed doors, the royal family have been attacking him and his wife since before they left. That's all it means for him, just some peace. Even when he was leaving to go meet Meghan in Canada. This is where I said the royal family should have stopped everything, but they keep on going after him over and over again, and then it leads to where he had to sue. He went to court, talk about his security and all of that, and much more is coming out. These people don't know how to stop. The moment he left the UK after the Sandringham summit, when they chose for him to be all out,
began to address Granny about the 5 options. Your Majesty, you've seen the 5 options? Yes, she said. We all had. They'd been emailed to us. 5 different ways of proceeding. Option 1 was continuance of the status quo. Meg and I don't leave. Everyone tries to go back to normal. Option 5 was full severance. No royal role, no working for Granny, and total loss of security. Option 3 was somewhere in between. A compromise, closest to what we'd originally proposed. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
he accepted, and then he was gonna move on, but the royal family won't leave him alone. He did say, there's a part in that speech where he said something. I'll show you the part that I'm thinking of. There it is.
The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known. to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. Family back from all I have ever known. To take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life.
So that option which the institution had chosen for him.
I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement before any discussion announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
Based on spare, he was willing to take it and move on and live a peaceful life.
Take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life.
But they keep on bothering him. And also, when he did the Sandringham Summit speech, it seemed like he took full responsibility for the choices that the institution made for him. Okay, this is where Harry and Meghan were saying at the Oprah interview, they tried to shield them, shield the institution, to protect them.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there?
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know, and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
With as much respect. Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
Shield the institution, to protect them. Okay, so us, me, you will not know it was them who made the decision for them, because they said they were willing to stay. They were willing to work with them.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there?
Without question.
Yeah.
But the institution wrap up and put everything and said, okay, this is the choice we're gonna make for you.
Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement before any discussion announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show?
And then they wasted his time at the Sandringham Summit creating a facade for the public as if they're working so hard with him and Meghan, even though Meghan was not there, but technically they are a team, the Sussexes, okay, even though it was only Harry who was present, okay, as if the firm is working so hard with them to convince them to stay. Meanwhile, they already choose what they wanted for them. And this is why I keep on saying, they choose it for them. Whatever stage or things that you see them living right now, the institution made the choice for them. And then guess what? They made the best of the choices the firm made. And now that they're flourishing, they're thriving, the institution doesn't like it. Okay? So Harry, from the Sandringham Summit, after the Sandringham Summit, and he did that Center Valley speech, this is where the firm, the institution, the royal rats, everybody who keeps on bothering them should have stopped. Okay? Leave them alone and just let them be. But no, they keep on going after them, keep poking, and they had to fight back. Okay? So for me, I feel like this is where the institution should have left Harry alone. And then they break the, not rule, but the agreement about the 1-year review and all of that. Took his security away because this is something he felt like he really needed. And that was one thing he needed from them. And then even that, because Harry, felt like this is something that he needed, which he truly needed.
Everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history.
The institution took it away from him. And then everything, ever since then, everything is downhill. Went to court, trying to fight to get his security back. And then through that, we find out, I mean, you could put one and one together, because the narrative that has been going on since Princess Diana passed, they kept on saying that it's Princess Diana who did not want security.
In October 1996, Princess Diana flew to Italy to be given a medal for her contribution to humanitarian work, especially in the field of public health. When she had attempted to withdraw from public life back in 1993, she had insisted on her Scotland Yard bodyguards being permanently removed, apparently because she was worried that they might be spying on her. But without royal protection, Princess Diana was increasingly being thrown to the lions.
And create this narrative all around her. She thought that they were spying on her, whatever. Whether it's true or not, we don't know, but that was the narrative that was going on. Princess Diana is not here to defend herself. But what came out of the firm poking on Harry, we find out that if you put one and one together, it's the firm who decided to take the security away from her and then chase her, bother her, drive her crazy, and then they're going on I don't know, media saying she's crazy and all of that, tormenting her for the public to think that she is crazy.
That's hard to forgive. I actually couldn't believe it. I thought with all the disagreements and all of the chaos that's happening, the one thing that I could rely on is my family keeping me safe. And not only did they decide to remove my security in the UK, but they also signaled to every single government around the world not to protect us.
Until her death. So if the institution did not keep going after Harry, especially after the security, we will not know that, because Harry said he was willing to pay for it. Every roadblock they put in front of him regarding the security, he came with a solution. And then they reject everything until there was review and things like that. And so many other things that came out, we don't know, but Harry does. Okay? So let's get back to the original recording. Okay, so let's continue. To the royal reporters, the narrative they run is that Harry wants to return to the royal family and its ongoing gaslighting toxicity in order to support a brother who was probably the main one briefing against him and Meghan, and who allowed his aide to give evidence against her in court for the Daily Mail. As if Harry will give up this for that. Alright, giving up there's Montecito and for the headache at the palace. Let's go into that so it could be bigger. And there's gonna be screenshot. Let's pause it. Okay, according to the UK press, Harry and Meghan should give up this beautiful paradise home in Montecito and move to the UK to support William Parker Bowles. Alright, let's see here. Let me go through it really quickly, just in case if I can't really show the video properly, and I could just cut it. And then okay, there's gonna be, I did a video about this, the home. Alright. Alright, that's a beautiful home, very spacious and open. Alright, so now I'm gonna play it again and my own music, and there's gonna be screenshots in between. That's that. Pretty long though. Alright, so this one is complaining. LOL Paradise. Harry has been mourning that the toilets are leaking and he is having to fix them. I mean, in every home, there is always something to fix. They don't stay the same all the time. Even the house, it shifts. The house moves sometimes. You just don't see it. So what? The toilet needs to be fixed. It looks like the 1980s mentioned and they don't have the money to change it. All they have done is one room. So Harry has a book that sold out, made record. And his charities are making money. Let's say, for instance, I'm not talking about Santa Bali or anything like that. What's the other one? That worth $3 trillion. What's the name of it? Travelers.
Travelers will be in New York for Climate Week, celebrating our 5th anniversary. Since we launched in 2019, we have brought together 11 of the world's biggest and often competing travel and technology brands to work together on bringing sustainable tourism to the mainstream. Today, we are a $3 trillion coalition, guided by our independent advisory group of world-renowned sustainability academics and experts. We're really looking forward to being in New York with our founder, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, to celebrate everything that we have achieved together so far and sharing our vision for what's to come next.
Okay, yes, it's a beautiful $29 million paradise. Unlike the 1,324 square foot old, run-down and moldy servant cottage where Prince Harry lived for 7 years while he was 4th in line for the British throne. Thank goodness for Meghan. She certainly upgraded the life of a prince. Okay, whatever the UK press is smoking, I want zero part of it. Prince Judah wants to keep Judahing, his brother. Oh my God. Prince Judah wants to keep Judahing, his brother, and pointing his finger in his brother's wife's face. Their Montecito estate is a beautiful paradise. Pretty much. It's a beautiful home. You're gonna be complaining no matter what, these people. Let's go back to the original tweet here. These are the squad here. I'm sure some of the one that I read within that tweet are also squaddies. He wants his family, and he has said the same thing consistently for years. I only wish him happiness and leave him to choose what he wants. Okay, we're all entitled to our different takes based on what Harry wants, and theory, reality. And theory or reality based on what we have heard him say diplomatically at various times, and further how he was interpreted this. I think he has also said other things around this matter which add more context to what he wants, which include recognition, acknowledgement, and change. Not likely from that family. Does he think it is as he knows them? I'm mindful there's a reason why Meghan has rightfully cut off her father, and arguably Harry's father family is no different, perhaps worse. Yet there's a different approach there. I feel I understand why, food for thought, but I respect different opinion, and different takes are inevitable. Irrespective of opinion, he of course is left to do as he pleases, and I will support and hope whatever it is, and hope it works out. I agree with this person. I mean, the squad understand the situation. Listening to Harry, what I feel is, for him, reconciliation mean having having good relationship with his father, and that's it. No return to royal duties or 50-50, or regretting what he, Meghan, said, did, or feeling lonely or anything. He just wants a father, not a king. That I agree as well. Okay, at his big age, do you think Charles can change and be a real father with normal parental loving and protective instinct? And secondly, does Harry think this? I think Harry, I think he wants relationship with his father. I think in the Oprah interview, there was something that he said. When they talk about William, he said there's space. But for the father, I think there was room, some wiggle room to be discussed. But Harry needs to understand. Charles, I think in Charles' head, okay, I believe, in my humble opinion, okay, this is opinion here, he thinks, I don't think he takes the firm his position as king as his true, like the family type of things. It's just a business for him. So when they forced him to marry Diana, I think he just kept it as for the firm. Okay, there's no personal feeling whatsoever. Anything that he produced with Princess Diana was for the firm. As soon as, he was done producing an heir and a spare, I think he felt like his job was done for the continuation of the institution. He was done with the firm. And then he went on to live his true life with the horse. And then now he become king, and he bring that horse with him. And I think his family, the family aspect, is with the horse. Okay, because I've heard that he set trust fund and different things for the horse's kids, but not Harry. Okay, William is already been taken care of by the firm, so William is fine. But Harry was left alone to mend for himself, and which is what Harry's doing now. Okay, so anything that come from Princess Diana, I think Charles want no part of it. Okay, at his big age, do you think Charles can change and be of your father? Did I read that? Normal parenting, loving and protective instinct. And secondly, does Harry think this? Let's see here. Harry loves his family. I think it's only Harry who knows the differentiation, because the firm did not try to effed up his brain, okay, to make him feel like to act like a freaking robot with no feeling. Harry has feeling, and whatever Princess Diana had taught him, still in him, he kept that. The firm then ruined that for him. But Harry knows the differentiation. This is why he's been asking, for people to live his private life alone. When he's doing engagement, whatnot, you could take as many pictures. But when he's hanging out with his family, it's family time. He doesn't want to deal with these people.
Chance my arm with a cheeky question. A bit like your mother, you are pursued every minute of every day by lots of people trying to take photographs, videoing, recording what you're saying, pushing. How can you possibly have a private life?
Cheeky question. You're right, that is a cheeky question. But Andrew, to be honest with you, sadly, that line between public and private life is almost non-existent anymore, and we will continue to do our best to ensure that there is the line. We are completely aware that we're in a very privileged position, and I will spend the rest of my life earning that privilege and trying to bring a spotlight onto things and causes that really matter to me, and hopefully matter to a lot of other people as well. Everyone has a right to their privacy, and a lot of the members of the public get it, but sadly in some areas there is this sort of incessant need to find out every little bit of detail about what goes on behind the scenes. It's unnecessary. I hope that people get to see me here in this Invictus role, cracking on with the guys and mucking in and having a good time with them. And this is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing, but the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
All right, so let's hear. Nope, King Charles will never change, and I think Harry knows that. By relationship, I mean just being able to speak to him once in a while. That's all. Maybe not just allow enough to give evidence. Send him to do it after the male had lost the case. That's right. That's right. To encourage them to appeal. They say William will never forgive Harry for what? For showing him up. And Harry, he tried. Well, they did say it in the open interview. They tried to protect them, but each time a situation happened, I think Harry and Meghan. Now Meghan is out of the picture. I don't think Meghan wants anything to do with the institution. But when Harry is dealing with them, he's still walking a fine line where he doesn't expose them too much. But when they tie his hand and he has to do what he has to do to win, okay, that's when he goes and put things out. And usually in court, not just, he doesn't go to the papers and blab his mouth. He goes to court and reveal what he needs to reveal. And it's the firm that's pushing him to do that. Okay, I agree with this statement. It's the reason I won't go too emotional about a meeting. I understand the power of the firm, and so does Harry and Meghan. If Chuck could hold the children's passport hostage, then there is no telling what he'll try next. It needs to end. It's awe-inspiring what Harry and Meghan have been able to achieve in 5 years, despite all the problems, challenges, and the negative media propaganda deliberately spreading around to discredit them. Okay, since they found out they were together, 100% this, there's that, agree, no. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now this one is about William. Wow, it's already 4. I need to edit whatever I did yesterday. In Battle of Brothers, Lacey writes about 5-year-old Willy throwing sandwiches and ice cream around a room because he wasn't allowed to blow out another child's birthday candles. Willy, Africa is Mine, is still solely focused on blowing out Harry's candles. Alright, let's see here. Let me read everything. William's very enthusiastic about things, explained Diana, who was reluctant, like her husband, to be judgmental of their boisterous elder son and heir. He pushes himself right into it. There's the part she highlighted. With neither parent keen to play the disciplinarian, it was left to Nanny Roth to try to administer some correction. In the autumn of 1987, she yanks the 5-year-old home from a birthday party following a tantrum when he had not been allowed to blow out the candles on the cake and had expressed his displeasure by throwing sandwiches and ice cream around the room. Nanny made him clean up the mess before he left. By that same autumn of 1987, reports of William's bad behavior had spread so widely that Speeding Images, the satirical TV show, included the 5-year-old among its grotesque puppet of the royal family. A juvenile William puppet dressed in a combat gear and armed with a knife and machine gun was shown widely attacking a meek and submissive Harry, then just 3. Diana referred obliquely to the issue of her 2 sons' different temperament. In an interview that year, Harry is quieter and just watches. Number 2 skates and quite nicely, but the bad luck about being number 1 is trial and error, so we're open-minded about William. There's that. And there's an image that I have when he was probably the most, I would say 7, he's choking, you see his hand around another child's neck, choking him. Okay, where is his nanny today? He's still in need of discipline. Okay, absolutely. Nanny Roth is still desperately needed. He needed early intervention, and it's no wonder because his mother and father were in conflict all the time. I think Princess Diana, even though they were in conflict, Princess Diana was doing her motherly duty. Okay, Charles, forget it. Forget Charles. Okay, everything. He can't even put his own toothpaste. Just imagine that. You think he's gonna be disciplining? Oh, there's an image that I have where William is hitting him in his head. Okay, sometimes the kids usually show you the direction they tend to be going at, and they will display it. And if you are lucky enough to see it and put a stop to it, you do it in the moment. Okay, there's no rule book of how to raise children. But one thing for a fact, when a child displays something that is unethical, that needs to be fixed, you do it in the moment that they display it. That's the only rule book I will say. Let the child show you who he is or her, and you fix it. And then at the same time, your everyday interaction with the child, you show him or her how you want him to be a good citizen. Okay? Then through that, the reaction you get from your child, if it's good, you let him know or her it's good. If it's bad, you fix it. Okay? I mean, I don't know how other people do it, but I didn't have a rule book. Alright, he needed early intervention. It's no wonder because his mother and father were in conflict all the time. That explains so much of the aggression and rage that he felt as a child into his adolescence, and the same with Harry, because there is no way to process their grief. And remember, they took Princess Diana away from them really quickly. I think if Princess Diana was alive, the way William is, I don't think it would have been. Okay? Because I think she was trying her best to teach or treat the kids in respect to their position. She took them to homeless shelters and probably things that they speak privately. But the firm, the moment she passed, they erased those positive things out of his brain, in my humble opinion. Okay, this is not sibling rivalry, it's chronic insecurity. William's behavior, I mean, since he was a child. You see, there's that puppy Harry was trying to pick up. As soon as Harry picked the child up, the puppy up, William went to Harry and made Harry put the puppy back. And it was Princess Diana who put a stop to him and said, leave Harry alone. And Charles was just looking, didn't do a damn thing. All right, and then there's the bunny thing. They give him the first choice to hold them, and then he said he want nothing to do with the bunny. But as soon as they give it to Harry, all of a sudden, can I hold it? Can I hold it? Tapping him in his butt to show disappointment. Okay? This is too blurry. If you could read it, just pause and read. And there's his bad behavior here, touching the teacher's butt. Schoolboy Prince William cheekily pinched his teacher on the bottom. I mean, these people. Was it that kid he was choking in one of the thing? Okay, bad behavior, and they're letting him be. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm done with that. Let's go to the next tweet. UK press. Alright, let's pause this. The UK press and the royal families distract the public with constant stories about Prince Harry and Princess Meghan to keep them ignorant. No wonder they want Harry back. This is why the Republican movement is growing and the royal families, they are numbered. I love karma. Okay, so let's listen to this.
The United Kingdom used to be one of the wealthiest empires in history, but today it's drowning in debt, unable to pay its bill, and also struggling to feed its own people. And here's why. And apart from London as well as Southeast England, the country as a whole is stagnant, struggling, as well as shrinking. And England already has sky-high taxes, and it doesn't want to raise that anymore. And it also doesn't export much compared to other countries like Japan, China, or Germany.
Okay, the thing is that type of system in the UK works so well for them. Not really, that's just a sarcasm. And they're bringing it over here in the US. Why is that? Because those wealthy people, whenever they are in power, they want to put more in their pocket. Okay? Look at when Democratic president are in power in the US, they try to spread it, okay, for everyone. But the others, they want everything in their pocket. And I think for Charles, in my humble opinion, the royal family in general, because nobody needs to check them. When they go overseas talking with other people, mostly in the Middle East, where Charles having a bag full of cash, okay, these people, it may not be them specifically, but other countries goes and meet them in another country to exchange, to help them destroy the country. Because now there's different type of war. Okay, there's the actual war where you send people, the troop, you bomb each other, whatever. There's those type of things. There's also the cyber war. There's also the political war that's going on diplomatically. So all of this is being played. Okay, once they caught Charles with a bag full of money, because he's above everybody, he's above the law. Okay, they do investigation. Next thing you know, it's under the rug. He didn't do anything wrong. Okay, so where did that money come from? They don't give you a bag full of money for no reason. What was the reason? Did you have to bend the rules for others? Or turn a blind eye for destruction that's happening in another country so you don't come and stop it? So people need to ask themselves this question. And the people who are in position of power in terms of for the legal issues, to put things in place, is like the gatekeeper of ethics. You do your job. Okay? When you take a few bucks for yourself, put in your pocket, you are destroying the whole country as a whole, including your own, if you have children, your own children and yourself. Because these people, these elite people, once they're done with you, they're done with you. But let's continue.
The sad part here is that England doesn't have much natural resources left as well, and the only thing it can do now is borrow. And in 2008, the UK borrowed more than $141 billion to bail out its banks. And over the next 15 years, England would have no real growth, investment, or stimulus. And many economists call this the lost decade. And disaster after disaster also piled onto the country. Brexit cut foreign investments by 25%, and COVID added another $300 billion in debt. And we also can't.
And during COVID, I remember covering a couple things in the UK with the PPE thing. And similar thing. I mean, it's so parallel with things that's going on in the US as well. Okay? Whatever's happening in the UK, they bring it up in the US. Those elite people, they feel like they have their hand on power, so they don't want to give it up. And then they're gonna destroy the country. And then once they destroy the country, they have full control of every aspect of your life. Now, they're gonna try to make you do things to get the things you were getting already. If you don't do this, you're not gonna get healthcare. If you don't do this, you're not gonna get what's that thing? Food stamp. Okay, so they're gonna dangling these things in your face for you to comply. All right, so same thing that happened in the UK, it's over here as well. But it didn't have to be. We are only 7 months into his presidency. He already destroyed the country. Well, he did say, MAGA, make America great again, bring us back. So he literally bringing us back. And many of those MAGAs now are finding out. I was seeing on X that one of those MAGA people just lost her home. Let's continue. This is not to say it's funny, but these people refuse to acknowledge reality. They're voting against their best interests. So whatever he's saying here about the UK, it's happening over here in the US.
Can't forget about the Ukraine war, energy shortage, as well as another $100 billion in borrowing for emergencies. And as a result, the UK has to pay roughly $100 billion every single year just on the interest for its loans. And this also means less funding for healthcare, schools, as well as infrastructure. And you can say that the UK doesn't really produce anything anymore. Instead, it's simply borrowing. And as a result, the country is slowly dying.
Okay, whatever he's saying about the UK, just applied here to the US. So, I did respond to it 18 hours ago. I mean, this is not new. It works so well for them in the UK, they transferred the same tactic in the US. Okay, they want news to be entertaining. Remember this? There's here, Bojo. They told us. So there's all of that. I'll play this for the sake of this video. Okay, screenshot.
I find it hard to see who is the winner here. I mean, Prince Harry goading the press is only and forcing the press into humiliating payouts is not going to be particularly good for the Sussexes. And it's certainly not great for the press, which is on the hook. I think the total payouts for phone hacking and other illegal information gathering is up to $1 billion, and there are many, many more cases to try. So my point about all this is, I think we only have losers here, and it's in all our interests that we have a strong, vigorous and honest press. And if it was strong, vigorous and honest, I agree that the press would have reported more on the judgment, the Prince Harry judgment that came through on Friday, than it did. It was basically a broadcast story, far more than it was a print story. And of course, the print and broadcast are in competition, so you can sort of understand that. So my question is, who wins out of this? Has Prince Harry done the press lasting damage? Do you think that as a result of the judgment that went against Mirror Group newspapers, we're going to see some sort of state regulation of the press? I genuinely hope not. I don't want the press to be in a last chance saloon at all. I want to see newspapers thrive. This is my industry, and I think it's in all our interests that we have a thrive. And we've got the most wonderful newspapers in the world in this country. You read the newspapers in in the States or in France, they're very dull. They're not entertaining at all. I think that we can have both a serious and an entertaining press. And that's what I want to see survive. I don't want to see Prince Harry destroy the industry I love.
Okay, now France better be careful. Just watch what's happening in the US. Okay, she mentioned the US and France, their newspapers are not entertaining. What did we find out? Which I cover a lot on this channel. Go back to some of my old videos where Wall Street Journal, the Murdoch, Washington Post, they took it over and then turned it into an entertaining type of newspaper that used to be respected, telling the news, actual news, things that happen, that concerns your lives every day. They're turning into some freaking entertainment. So friends better watch out. And then what I think they're gonna do next, because they can't produce their own natural resources or things like that, they're gonna bother Africa. Look how France keeps on bothering Burkina Faso. Okay, Trump as well, bothering Burkina Faso because they have gold, they have a lot of natural resources and things like that. They're gonna create some nonsense to distract people and then pointing finger at, probably gonna say they are terrorists, they are this, to give a reason to go get the natural resources over there. So I hope individuals, the people like me, the everyday people, when you go vote, you pay attention to that. You can't be focusing in other countries because you need to focus on your country. They're messing it up. These people never have enough. So they're going to go over there while the other country, Burkina Faso, is trying to fix itself. They're going to try to destroy it and take what they can. God knows for how long. Meanwhile, African countries, most of them, because there's some who's already bending the knee to Trump, but the others who's trying to take care of themselves, picking themselves up by the boot strap to fix their government, the people, the living standard of things like that. But America and France wants to go and disturb those countries. So people need to pay attention. All right? So that was me responding to that. All right, France better be careful. The people, the citizen of France, better be careful when they're choosing elected official. Because right now their goal is in Africa. They want to go back to start nonsense. Okay, I know where they can get a few billions. Yeah, they keep on giving them money for what? I think this year he got a raise. The royal family got a raise. Okay, she tagged somebody here. I thought media said royal family bring in a lot of money from tourism, and government still pays this family millions every year. There must be something wrong with 10 Downing and Westminster. I forgot you have lords and commoners in one room. Get rid of the lazy family. From my understanding, there are some who are in parliament. They're not elected, but they're there to represent like the elite type of thing. And I think they have a say on some of those like laws that being implemented. And I think they pay them certain amount each day that they are there. That's crazy. Okay, there's one more. Okay, I have two more. One more after this one. That has nothing to do with politics or the royal family. There's this here. Angela Bassett, at 66 years old, was spotted recently. She still look good. I've spoken about her before, where I think the first time, in one video where I said the first time I remember her was Tina Turner, and someone mentioned another movie, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the name of the other movie, but I keep on going back to Tina Turner, what love got to do with it. But there's another movie that she did. Oh, how Stella got her groove back. That's what it was. Someone mentioned it on the comment section in that particular video, and I was like, yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's that. She still look good. And one thing I've always said, she's always fit. At 66 years old, she's pretty good. Just going back. There's the image. She looks good. Yeah. 66. My God, there's no wrinkles. No wrinkles at all. I don't know if that's her son. Almost forgot. This is the whole point. Let me go look for something. Alright, let's get out of this. Let me grab something here. Let me go search something. I was recording. I thought I paused. But anyway, never mind. What? Oh, Lord, the comments. Does it also look young down there? Oh, my God. These people. Monica DeLucy. Through the years. Okay, I don't want to go to that. Okay, so let's leave that alone. Okay, you mean to tell me this is what grandma looks like now? So this is my last one. It has to do with museum. I need to send that link to someone I follow on Twitter. He's I think he's a professor in the UK. He's always talking about the arts and things like that. The British Museum holds approximately over 73,000 African artifacts, yet they told you Africa had no civilization nor history. Alright, let's listen. Let me go through it really quickly. Like this. Okay. And then I'll play it and I'll find a way to sort of put, how do you call this thing? Screenshot when I play it. Alright, so let's listen.
Alright mate, let's have it.
That's from the movie. Alright, let's see here. Alright, the British and other Europeans plundered and stole several African artifacts which are now being displayed in their museum. Meanwhile, the same white people are here telling me we have no civilization. LOL. Fools that don't read books. Alright, there's another one here. Let's see. Let me go through it. Which movie were these? I don't want to go through all of it. It's the first one that I wanted to share with you. Let me go into it so it could be bigger. Alright, so anyway, so there's so much to share with you. So that's that. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. The prayer I will say is, let there be peace on earth. And may people's mind be open and understanding, be compassion, and see reality for what it is. And make proper decision, not just for itself, but for the world at large. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.